Hello everyone, and welcome to Rudy's Retro Intel. On today's show is part 3 of 3 for the Commodore VIC20 and C64 repairs. So let's peek inside and poke around. Now it's time to open up the machine and pull out the screws, have a look inside and see what we can find. In other words, peek inside and poke around. 2 screws hold a keyboard down on these Commodore 64Cs. It's just on the top, and the bottom have clips, so the keyboard, once the screws are removed, keyboard itself just slides up and out. Once that's lifted, then we unplug the cable, and from there we attack the screws.
Super Star. Block it. No. Ladies, block it. No.
At this point, we see that the user ports and the interrupt is having problems. Looks like U2 is the location of the bad chip in this case, and the ports, cassette port, etc. So we'll have to open it up and desolder a chip. Now the board is actually out of the case. I did notice that there's a solder blob on 2 pins on the user port. So let's get some solder wick out and suck that away. It could be that someone has dropped it or put it on place. I believe it was put on intentionally. And let's take that off and give another test. With solder wick, you have to apply lots of heat to ensure that the solder is being sucked up into the solder wick itself. You can tell by the solder wick turning silver from this orangey gold color. And we're just about done. Yep, there we go. All removed. And let's run our next diagnostics run, and we will see what happens now without that solder blob. I'm predicting that things will work much better, but we shall see. And there we go. The ports have come back as tested okay. Again, we still have the one issue. So let's take that apart and desolder the chip, replace it with the socket, and then we will insert a new chip and go from there. Now I put tape on the sockets when I solder them in, holds them in place. I don't have to worry about doing corners and then going back and making sure that they are leveled or flush with the board. So I just put some tape Any kind of tape will do. I usually use masking tape or painter's tape so it doesn't leave any marks, and it's easy to pull off. Once that's done, we'll put the connectors back, put the chip in, and do some testing. Now it's time to go through the inventory to see what we can find. I'm pretty sure I have this chip. I have quite a bit of the Commodore 64 and VIC20 chips. So let's dig one up. And it's a CIA chip. There we go. There's the actual replacement for the chip. Let's pop it in the socket and start doing some testing. Now it's time to run the test one more time. Let's see if we have any more errors. Did we fix the problem? Did we didn't fix the problem? We'll find out. And it's good. Looks like the board is now testing good, and we can move on from there. Time to reassemble. Now some quick typing as it boots up file. Let's just see if the keyboard is basically working. Hit some keys here and there, try it out. Now I'm going to run one more final diagnostics run with everything assembled and put in. Now people might think, oh, you're testing it too many times, but I figure it doesn't hurt to test more than once or twice or 3 or 4 times, because once it's all together and you hand it back to the customer, you don't want to come back saying it's bad. Here the keyboard has failed because the dongle is not inside, and but it's good. All looking great. Now it's time to have some fun. Let's plug in a cartridge. I use the Backbit cartridge, which is a floppy drive cartridge, basically emulator, simulator, whatever you want to call it. It allows you to run cartridges and floppy based programs. Let's boot that up and see what we get. Excellent. We get the menu here. We can pick different programs, like run a diagnostics. I can have it boot up into diagnostics mode, or I can run floppy drive, joystick, other types of diagnostics, but I think we'll go into the games and down to one of my favorites, Shoplifter, and we scroll down to there and let's play. Well, at this point the sound is not working. It is working on the 64, but my capture card is having a difficult time, so I just have to take my word for it. And as we can see, the game is playing just as expected. Well, there you have it. This is part 3 of the Commodore VIC20s and the 64 computers, diagnostics and repair. I hope you learned something from these videos. And if you want more information, check out my GitHub page and you can download the spreadsheet for the Commodore 64 common error issues and how to fix them. And same thing with the Apple II series computers. Thanks again, and thank you everyone who subscribed. Thank you for all my new subscribers, and hope you like, share, and subscribe for those who haven't. Take care.